The police thought I committed a hit and run, then they saw the blood running down my face. Have you ever been in the wrong place at the wrong time with the worst possible evidence against you? Last summer, a 5-minute drive home from work nearly landed me in prison for a crime I didn't commit. It started with a phone call from a detective while I was restocking shelves at the small grocery store where I worked weekends. My number had been flagged in connection with a hit-and-run accident the previous night. According to witnesses, a silver sedan had struck a cyclist and fled the scene. The partial plate matched my 2010 Honda Dexa fitted. That's impossible, I told the detective. My car is blue, not silver, and I was home by 8 p.m. last night. The detective seemed satisfied with my explanation and said they'd follow up if needed. I thought that was the end of it. Parent, just a case of similar plate numbers and a witness mistake about the color. The next day at work, everything changed in an instant. I was helping our manager reorganize the storage room when a heavy metal shelf bracket broke loose above me. It came crashing down directly onto my forehead before I could react. The pain was immediate and blinding. Blood poured down my face, soaking my work shirt. My manager, panicking at the sight, grabbed his keys. I am driving you to the ER right now, he insisted, helping me to his car. That needs stitches. I was too dizzy to argue. I left my car in the employee lot and climbed into his Every, pressing a bundle of paper towels against my forehead to slow the bleeding. 3 hours and 7 stitches later, my manager dropped me home. I was exhausted, my head throbbing despite the painkillers. All I wanted was to collapse into bed as I thanked him and stumbled toward my front door. A police cruiser pulled into my driveway, blocking us in. 2 officers stepped out, their expressions serious. Are you Thomas Reeves? One asked, hand resting near his holster. I nodded, confused and increasingly anxious. We need to ask you some questions about your whereabouts last night and the current location of your vehicle. That's when I realized, Perrin, I was standing there with a massive head injury, no car in sight, and blood still visible on my collar despite the hospital's clinic efforts. From their perspective, I looked exactly like someone who might have smashed into a cyclist and injured myself in the process. I can explain, I started, but the taller officer cut me off. Sir, we have witnesses who identified a vehicle matching yours leaving the scene of a serious accident. The victim is in critical condition. Where is your car right now? My manager stepped forward. His car is at Wilson's grocery. He left it there because I drove him to the emergency room after a workplace accident 2 hours ago. I am his boss, Mark Wilson. The hospital has all the documentation. The officers exchanged glances. One spoke into his radio while the other continued questioning me. I could see the doubt in their eyes. Pan, this could easily be a cover story. Just as the tension peaked, the radio crackled. The officer listened, then his posture relaxed slightly. We just got confirmation they apprehended the actual hit and run driver 20 minutes ago. Silver Toyer plate number was off by 1 digit from yours. The relief that washed over me was so intense I nearly collapsed right there on my porch. Sorry for the confusion, sir, the officer said suddenly, professional rather than suspicious. Hope your head heals up quickly. As they drove away, my manager let out a low whistle. You know what would have happened if I hadn't driven you today? If you'd shown up in your own car with that injury, I nodded slowly, careful of my stitches. I'd probably be in handcuffs right now. Sometimes the line between freedom and suspicion is as thin as a single digit on a license plate and as random as a falling shelf bracket. I've never been more grateful for terrible workplace safety standards in my life.